hello. So, some stuff to do. Nice to see you, Mehmet. Bogdanovich, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here. So, a couple of things to do. So one, let's see. One, I need to release Nuxt fonts. I just merged a couple of fixes and features. So lots to do. A new font source provider, and we now support system proxy, and also generate better local fallbacks. That is totally possible. What should my mic be?
Okay, hopefully this is a bit better. People hearing me properly? Excellent. Nice to see you, Bobby. Joaquin, hello. Woof, Flo, everybody. Like, this is great. Okay, it has been a while, but I'm back. So let's release Nuxt fonts and then get going with a few other things. So okay, package, release. I'm sorry, a bit out of breath. Yeah, something like that. I just did some press ups, and so I'm still a little bit out of breath. Okay, let's do this. Ah. Cool. We'll just close this branch. And I think we should just publish the package. I think I'll need to refresh this page. The tag really should already exist. Yeah, there we go. Existing tag, here we go. I always have to change these, but otherwise it doesn't mention people as being involved, it just links to them. So, seems good to me. Seems good. I will drop the this chore. Okay. So, Nuxt fonts 0.4. I know technically it could be a patch, but because we're below 1, so 0.4 is technically a major release, but it looks better to me, and it doesn't really matter to people, I think. Cool. Why is this pending? Interesting. There's some weirdness here. But I suspect that is a GitHub thing rather than a library thing. Okay, so we've released Nuxt fonts, so feel free to give that a try. And what next? Right, this. I got tagged on Twitter by Dave Stewart. Dave Stewart tagged me and said this. There is a fix, but he says there's a bug and he wants help. And basically this is something which I've been meaning to help him out on. And I haven't actually confirmed that the issue is, but I think the issue is in his module. So if you've encountered this thing where you build a server and it hangs, it's typically because you have a module which is basically not, and hey, Abel, nice to see you, which is not closing itself out. So often it has like a watcher or something which is started. So Nuxt has this concept of modules, which basically allows extending from Nuxt itself. So if you check out like, nuxt.com modules, you'll see a list of some of the modules that exist in Nuxt. So there are loads of them, like over 200 modules, and they hook into different bits of Nuxt to enable you to configure it. And Nuxt, if you're not familiar, is an open source framework for building web apps, which I and others maintain. Oh, I think someone is just popping into the room. It's the sound of Ned. Hello, Ned. Hi. You're very bouncy right now. So so basically, I very, very strongly suspect that in this module, we probably have a watcher firing.
Opening the door.
I do, and I think this is an extremely simple fix. I did, Eddie. I'm on a video call with some people. Do you want to say hi to them? Okay.
That's why
Yeah. Do you see yourself? There you are. Yes. Julien says hello. Julien is a friend of mine. He brought me some very nice pastries not when we last saw each other. And that's Bobby. I saw him also when I was in Amsterdam. Yes.
was Bobby.
Bobby? Bobby, actually, he does a lot of amazing
I
things.
want some soup.
Some soup. Ah! I have actually finished my soup.
Why?
Oh, it's all done.
What
But it would have been too spicy for you,
Why?
as I added a lot of chili.
We can get soup for that.
Oh, yes. Why don't you go get some soup downstairs? You can take the light too, if you want. Okay.
It's night time.
It's very useful when it's nighttime, that thing.
Let's get soup.
Abel, nice to see you.
I like it curly and white.
So, where are we? Okay. Omar, hello. So basically what we want is to find Chokadar, which is almost, no, it's not Chokadar. We have what? On watch. That's runtime assets. Interesting. Okay, so it's not as simple as Chokadar. Let's see, we're just going to install our dependencies. It's probably more than that. Okay. Yeah, we have storage watch. Make assets manager. Okay, I want to know where this is running. Runtime. I have Nitro app. Basically, I think the issue is that there's a watcher going on here somehow. Let's take a look at Nuxt content. So do we have Chokadar in here, presumably? No. We must have a watch somewhere. Is it in unstorage, maybe? Okay, we have nitro storage.watch. It's interesting. Maybe it's a bug in Nitro. Okay, so we have watch, which is being exposed from Nitro storage. That might actually just be directly being exposed from unstorage. Okay, that is what I'm expecting. So we should be able to handle like unwatching everything. Okay. Well, the first thing we need to do is reproduce Dave's bug. So, and then we can see about how to fix it and whether this resolves anything for us. So let's see, how do we reproduce Dave's bug? So he says something about what's reproduction? Okay, let's follow his. There's no reproduction, which is a pain. But let's see what we can do. Okay, we have got a demo. So let's open this demo. It is VS Code. We're going to run git and pull in Nuxt content assets. That will give us a demo. And oh no, there already is. There's a interesting. So is this actually already open in the? Yeah, there is already. Okay, so it's already here. Okay, so we're just in here and we're running npm install. I've got some stuff, if you're interested, with some config here. You can see my theme and settings. Okay, so we are, right, so if we run dev, and is there a Nuxt config that calls process exit? No. npm run, all right, we'll just do npx nuxi generate. Is that what it takes to, where are we? Build, it just hangs. Why? Okay, well, path is not found. Do we need to have some kind of unclear why that's failing. Let's try build. I actually have really liked my font all the way through, as in, yeah, it's felt quite nice to me. I like the sort of the pattern of it. It's nice on the eyes. I've tried different fonts. I've used JetBrains Mono. I've used, they're all fading from my mind. I've used, what else have I used? I used other fonts, but I really can't remember them. Okay, I've used this one for so long. Okay, npx nuxi build. Let's try that. Okay, so that reproduces it. So we get this hanging build. So let's open up, I think it is possible this is an issue in Nitro. So let's try actually editing Nitro. And let's just try this here. So we have storage, not that, must be this chunk. Storage, dispose. Okay, let's try await Nitro storage, unwatch, and then dispose. Let's try this one more time. Yeah, it doesn't seem to have. I'm just going to make it clear whether we're there. Console log, Nitro close, and I'll also run with debug, I think, which should print out these logs for us. So in here, we should be able to say debug true, and that will now print all of our hooks when we're building. So it's going to show us everything that's running, when it's running, and how long it takes to run. So we have got building the Nitro server, built, Nitro close, Nuxt close. So there's still something hanging around with Nuxt. There is, so we can try node process hang. So there's a variable we can set. Where is it? We can run this. And what we do is basically, where is it? Pop it here. Okay, so what we're going to do is in our Nuxi CLI, node modules, Nuxi, dist, index, MJS. We are going to, actually it's the binary I think we're going to want, but what we're going to do is we're going to run this require. So we're going to do import log from why is node running. And then we are going to log at the end, I guess. And I think this needs to be imported at the beginning. So maybe we'll just import why is node running. We'll also have to install it, I think. I can turn that off. The red files you're talking on the right hand side. Yeah, you can turn that off, but it does bother me. Yeah, absolutely. I don't want red stuff to be like, because it makes me feel like there's a bug. But in this case, I think it's because we haven't just set up the environment. So there are some red squiggly lines in those files. Okay, so we have this, and now we're going to pop it into Nitro, I guess. And we're just going to set a timeout as they suggest. So we're going to import there, and we're going to, let's see, we're going to do it on watch. We're going to say set timeout. Was it just log? 5 seconds later, and it will tell us what's still running. Hopefully, let's see. Okay, come on. 5 seconds later, we should get something. Nothing's coming through. Interesting. That's weird. Maybe we should do that a little bit differently. Okay. Oh, and this didn't even log. So it's not running. This bit isn't running. Maybe we have a different version of Nitro sticking around. Let's try doing this maybe from Nuxt. So we have here, we should have some commands, I guess. What is this doing? We're going to pull in these commands, and what we're doing is build. So what we're going to do for our build command is we've got a Nuxt instance, and we're going to say Nuxt hook close, and then we're going to log out there, and we're going to import it. Why is node running up there? So hopefully that's going to work a little bit better. Oh, that's going to directly log it. We probably want to wait with a timeout, but where did I do it? Aussie boy, nice to see you. Okay. That will be better next time. Okay, yeah, it'll be better next time because there's too much running. Let's try this one more time. Build. Oh, and we probably want to copy it. So we can copy it into the editor and play around with it. Oh, that will never complete because it's, I guess, because it will never hit the end. We'll just have to fire away. So much of coding is waiting. Like waiting for CI to run, waiting for a build to finish. Okay, lots of stuff, which is not surprising, but there is lots of stuff. And it doesn't tell us why these things are open, because they might be open for lots of reasons. In this case, we're measuring the gzip size of all these files. That's probably not what it is, but we can, I think, just not do that. So we can basically copy that out so that we don't have that as a thing. Just to clarify what the thing is. Thank you, Aussie boy. One or two issues, obviously, we have to investigate, particularly with the content logs. Everything working for you? Like, is it working well? So now, yeah, this is more like it. So this is like we have our hookable. It's running the hooks. That's what we expect. And then internal node async hooks, which doesn't honestly give us a lot of information. But we have our build. That's what we expected. It's being called by hookable. Like, this is not useful. And we're still awaiting Nuxt to close. That's all correct. By the way, so sorry, for those who aren't aware, basically we at some point decided not to forcibly exit Nuxt because there are often things that are keeping Nuxt running, and these need to be addressed where they're coming from. They're bugs in modules or providers that are doing that, and we don't exactly know where that's coming from. And by just forcibly terminating Nuxt, we were hiding the errors. So we chose not to. It's not a bug in Nuxt that sometimes Nuxt can hang in this context. It's surfacing a bug somewhere else. So I'm helping somebody out to help find where the bug that is in his project is, whether it's in his project or in a library he depends upon, for example. Okay, so we're calling Nuxt close. Now the thing about this is that watch is used, like storage watch. So I'm just going to see if we can not use that. It's possible that might be the thing. I'm just going to remove these things. Probably would break the runtime code of the app, but still worth having a go. If it's that, it won't be an issue in this module because it should be safe to watch. What is this? Wait a second. I think that is it. And it is a bug here. Okay, so basically it's created an unstorage instance. Okay, great. So we know what it is and where it is. So we can remove the debugging code that I popped elsewhere because we found the issue. And the issue is that by calling unstorage watch within your runtime code, you're creating a watcher that isn't cleared up. And it needs to be cleared up. Like it needs to be cleared up basically. Okay, so and it's one of these. What does onWatch do here? The just tricky thing though is this is runtime code. How are we going to clear it up? So this is when do we make source storage, and how do we clear it up? So we're making it here, and we've got okay. So we're making source storage, and what are we doing with it? This is within make assets manager, and we are making it in a Nitro plugin. Okay, Nitro hooks, hook, close. Okay, so basically we have got a couple of things here. So one, we can pop this in here. And what we can do is say hooks, hook, close. We are going to have to wrap this, it looks like. We are going to then close, something like that. Tear down, maybe. We'll call it tear down. Okay, so make assets manager has now, it's got to export a teardown. So it has at the end, we've got this. So we're going to return teardown, and it's going to basically do storage, dispose. I think that's probably all it needs to do. And let's see what that does for us. This is in the server environment, so there's no effect scope going, but that is a fair one. Hey Chris, nice to see you. And thank you, that's very nice of you to say. Well, the thing is, the major in that case is not going to feel like a major release to you, because the major is just breaking changes. Like it's not going to be necessarily okay, that's not quite enough. It's not going to be necessarily any more than like all the features we release as we go. We don't hold those back. So okay, unwatch, and we also need maybe to, what do we have here? We have some kind of onwatch thing. Hey, nice to see you. That should be fine. This is coming from make source manager. Make source manager is used here, which is, okay, this is a different manager. So we have our managers thing. Where's the teardown? Oh, this we can hook here. Oh, this is in a module. Okay, this is much more of a thing. So, hey, nice to see you, Yao. Okay. Okay. Let's see which one of these things it is, because it might actually not be. Watch. Let's just check. What are my changes? So I made a change here. This teardown thing. I'll comment that out. Let's just see whether it's reproducible just by getting rid of this one, because this is in runtime, but it's being imported in the module, which threw me off. So it's sharing context between build and runtime, which is, generally speaking, not something we would want to do. Okay, that's not enough. We do need to call dispose here. And I think we might also need to do something here. We're returning storage from make source manager. So we can actually, I think, directly tear it down. And we'd say something like here, Nuxt hook. Actually, yeah, maybe we could do it somewhere else. Nuxt hooks, hook, close, and we'll do it like this for const key in managers key storage dispose. Okay, let's try that. Really? What was the fourth? Like, what was the one we didn't get? And what were the three that you did? I would like to know. I am glad to hear that, Parasocial. Okay. Let's just go back to first principle. So we have our two watchers. And what we're doing is we're watching that. Let's just confirm what happens when we get rid of that. And we're also watching here. We might explicitly need to call unwatch. That's also possible. This. Good morning, Brocard. Okay, await storage. Let's try that instead. Layouts and root rules, yes. Middleware, logging, and server client only. The layouts is possible as well. Like, that would be a doable thing. Okay. that didn't resolve it. That's happening. What if we do this? That should resolve it, right? So we've got load. Where is load coming from? Oh, it's here. This should work, right? I'm commented all the watchers out, and I'm pretty sure things worked this time last time. Yeah, that works fine. So let's just re-enable things. Okay, so this is now in module land, and we are disposing here. And let's just check that we still work. Yeah, okay, this is good. Now, if I don't do that, it should hang still. Oh, it just doesn't work. Oh, why wouldn't it work? That's weird. Oh, that's just a git. That's a pain. I'm hitting a git rate limit, so I might need to. That's interesting. Let's see. I think I might need to get a token or something like that from git. On storage. Let's just see what the driver that I need. Okay, I need to have a provider token. I'm guessing this might, yeah, okay. So we have a GitHub driver, and I need to provide a token here, and right, I can provide a token. Yes, token. Okay. We'll try that. Archetype. Nice to see you, David. What is this? Dave Stewart. And this will be in demo, I think. And basically, I am going to edit an env file. And somehow I need to get a GitHub token. There is a token. Yeah, it's a token. I need somehow to just obtain one on stream while not like doxing my token. Okay, I need to have a GitHub token. I'm going to grab it from GitHub and quickly generating a new fine-grained token off screen. So this is actually totally safe, but still just abundance of caution. And there we go. Okay, so now we should be able to rerun this command. Oh no, it's not working. Oh, maybe it's... I did not see that. I wrote a whole, you know that, but I wrote a whole library to do that, and they're doing it in TypeScript. What environment variable are you suggesting, Esteban? I've set one in .env as just GitHub_token. If you're suggesting a different one, GitHub_auth token, maybe? I think this might actually be. Let me just check the code. Yeah, you explicitly have to provide a token. Like it's not coming from an environment variable. So, and it's happening here, here, wait, here. So basically we are initializing the driver. That's not where we're initializing the driver, but we're initializing the thing, GitHub. This is the thing. And I thought we said process and GitHub token. Oh, this is runtime. That won't exist. Okay. Oh, I see what you mean. That's GitHub auth token. Oh, for the CLI. Okay, yeah, that's a very good point. Okay, people, I'm just going to paste my token here. It's going to make it much easier. Okay, let's build. Nope. Really? This is such a pain. Okay, we also have this GitHub driver. And could possibly be that. But I feel like it should be this one. Maybe copy it down. Is that the one that's not working? This is awful. Like, I'm just being stopped by sort of debugging this by the fact that it's needing to get up auth token. I'm going to hard code it in unstorage. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to say token is going to be. There we go. No problem with that at all. I'll delete the token after the thing, but it's just a public token. It won't give you access to do anything on my behalf. Really? Really? Oh, there's multiple versions of unstorage. Okay. Okay, people, at this point, I'm just abandoning any pretense at security or anything. So don't waste my token, please. Okay, it's building at least again. Right. So I want to see that this will finish. It won't. Okay, that's good to know because it means, yeah, let's get rid of that there. Because it means that this bit here, the dispose, is necessary. And by doing it, we are in fact correctly handling the open storage instances. This is terrible. Okay, where were we? We had a GitHub thing and I just removed the, there we go, try it. Legend, are you pulling your hair out because of my showing my auth token on stream? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And Origin, nice to have you. Okay, so we basically at this point, this is good. So we'll create a little branch and say fix watch issues. And what we're going to do first is just document what we do as we do it. So fix, close storage drivers when Nuxt is closing. Okay, let's see what else we have to do. So I think also we want to handle something in the Nitro plugin. So if I save that and hide white space diff, then we just see this. So we have an asset manager, which we're making, and okay, we're going to watch. That's fine. but we also need to be able to dispose at the end. And okay, but that's obviously not enough. So what is this watch function doing? What is load doing? Well, let's just check. Is that going to work or not? Yes, David. Yeah, crazy. Who would do that? What kind of people would they be? What would they grow up to do? Yeah, that's just not enough. So there's something here about load. Which means that this isn't enough. Well, is it called more than once? Okay, it's called here as well. So basically what we need to do this also. And basically, I think probably right after it, we'll basically say Nuxt hook close await assets tear down. Okay. There we go. That should work. I think we don't need to unwatch. I think we can just call dispose, but I just want to confirm that. No. Okay, let's explicitly only dispose because that worked fine for the other one. So we should just be able to say storage dispose. Leo, nice to see you. What we're doing is we're debugging an issue that somebody's module has because they're creating watches but not disposing of them. It is a tricky one to dispose of these, and I didn't rule out the possibility that it was caused by Nuxt content, for example, or maybe something in unstorage, but it doesn't seem to be. And so we're helping them. But to be fair, they did call me out on Twitter, so I am also, I'm also doxing myself with my token. Don't clip it. Okay, so I think we should also rename it to dispose as well, because that goes in line with what it's doing. So we'll just rename it like this. And hopefully that's renamed everywhere. Okay, so it's not even scoped to any repo. It doesn't have any permissions. It simply allows reading GitHub. And yeah, as soon as I finish and get rid of it, it won't even do that. But at the moment, all you could do is basically destroy my rate limit, which would be a pain. But no way I'm leaking a token with actual permissions. Like, there's zero way I would do that. Okay. Like, it's still not a good idea. Like, don't get me wrong. But, okay, the disposal. Why? Well, you can try. See what it gives you access to. I would be interested to know. Just don't do anything bad. Oh, Right. I'm not happy. I'm not happy with this. Why is this not working? Like, I feel this is very, very close to solving it. Unless we're doing it in the wrong order? Yeah, GitHub rate limits are so bad. At some point, I caused it to myself by having a browser extension that was fetching stuff in the background, and I was constantly being rate limited. Very frustrating. I am stymied because are we only calling watch those 2 times? And we are calling on the source here, we are explicitly calling close. And on assets, we're calling close. And these are our 2. So make source manager, let's just confirm. We're calling that only once here, and we are disposing. And that is working, I think. And then we have a second manager, which is the assets manager. And this, we are also explicitly calling this teardown function on. So, oh, it's making source storage. Ah, it also needs to call the underlying okay, so we basically need to do something like this. Or no. So we had source storage. Oh no, it's not. It's not. I thought this was better than it was. Okay, so this make source storage is simply returning a storage driver. It's not actually. Oh, I'll see you later. It's not actually doing anything here. Let's try unwatching it again. I don't think that helped. I could try unmounting it even. But I think that must be what dispose is doing under the hood. So what is dispose doing, just to be clear? Dispose, clear, what is unwatch doing? Stopwatch. Actually, it's different. Okay. If you want to implement a client-only composable, it's very easy to do. So if I were to fire up a stack blitz, which I will share with you in a second, you could do something like composables, client test. Oops, pull that out. Come on. And we would do something like export const example client only composable equals import meta server, and you give a stub function, and then on a client you do console log window, something like that, and then we would call that in our app. And we'll reload the page, and nothing happens on the server, but in the client, it's going to log window. Is that good? Obviously, if you're doing stuff with types, you might want to make sure the types match. So you might like define the types, or like, because in this case, it's just like no args to void. But if you're doing a bit more, you might have to just make them more parallel. But this is basically what you can do. And the other bit will be tree shaken. So in the server build, it genuinely will be that, and in the client build, it genuinely will be that. The wrong code doesn't make it into the build. Oh, where are we? Right, we were here. Well, this is less of a workflow and more like a banging my head against the wall flow. So this, what is 6412? Good to see you. Hey, nice to see you. Welcome. We're currently just sitting here. There's something we need. Okay, let me take it back to square one. So by calling watch here, we are doing something that we're not cleaning up properly. So we're calling storage watch. It's doing something. No, maybe this is doing something. Okay, let's drop the side effect there and see if that makes a difference. And basically we'll have to trace it down to see what is the thing that we're doing that we can get rid of to make sure we don't have this hanging process. Okay, that's fine. I guess that's fine. Because it's very interesting, isn't it? Oh no, it's not. We're not done. Hello. Hi. Yeah. Oop. Yeah. You go there. Yes. Hello, cat. Yeah? You want petting? That cat, she has a very, very plaintive mew. Okay, so when we're calling watch, what are we doing? We're specifically calling watch. Not server index. We're specifically doing this. Context watch listeners. What we need to do is handle the unwatch. Stopwatch. That's very funny. Okay, unwatch is good, but we are calling that. So it must be that it's doing more than more than that. We're going to go into unwatch and specifically say console log finished unwatching, just to be clear what's happening. Yeah. You should get. I wish I had a better camera so you could see, like, she is loving this. This is all about her as far as she's concerned. Yeah. Interesting. Must be a different version of unstorage. Let me just do some stuff. Oh, it's because I'm yeah, okay. It's because there are two different projects here. Let's just, what should I do? I'm just going to delete package.json. Package lock, I mean. And let's just reinstall. Hi. And let's do the same up there. Okay, it's probably pinned. Right, you're gonna have to move slightly, little one. Fluff. Or maybe I just open the right one. Okay, let's try that. Code, node modules, unstorage, dist. We're gonna find it here. Let's try that. Hi. Literally sitting on my wrist at the moment. Yes. Hi. Hi. Okay. I must still be logging in the wrong place. Let's try it instead. Up there. If this isn't, that's weird. Okay, it might package lock. Okay, it's just this one. And what about here? Oh, no, it's just that one. So why are they resolving to the same one? Okay, so, or maybe we're never unwatching. She is very beautiful. Interesting. Maybe that's the issue. Why is it? Okay. Pop it there, and we're also going to do the same here, just so we know what's happening when stopwatch is called. Hey, good to see you. Maybe. The thing is, how would that work on the server? I guess that's the question. Would it basically defer the entire response, or would it actually stream the response? So this isn't even logging, so it's this is a bit confusing to me. But that's the immediate question. But otherwise, I'm very up for that, because it could tie into view reactivity quite easily. And yes, JD Slansky, I recognize you. Like you've kindly used the same name on Twitch as on GitHub. Right, what are we doing? I think it might be about time for me to grab another cup of tea. Let's see. Yes, exactly. Although you have normalized things now. Like I now know who you are. I was so confused for so long, even though you told me more than once. But okay, I'm not happy with this. I feel like there's something happening here that's not fully exposed to me. So that is right, and these are all good things. But why is it not? This is all correct. Well, maybe not. Let's see. Yeah, not committing that. Okay, so I don't think this is needed. Okay, so because we haven't watched anything here, have we? Or maybe if we did, it would be an issue. Do we have a watch? We have on watch, and we do watch it. So maybe the difference is that it's a file system as opposed to these other ones might be not file system. Well, we can put that in for safety here anyway. So we'll say fix unwatch storage and Nuxt Nitro exit. Okay. This doesn't resolve it, but I would want to say, so the issue is the assets manager, I think. And the assets manager. So source storage is specifically wait a second. Where are those options coming from? FS. So it's not even, no, it's clear it's hitting GitHub at some point. So this is hitting GitHub. Okay, so we have make source manager. Let's just drop the dispose. What I'm wondering, so what happens when we call dispose? This is what I have to put up with. If you can't see me, my arm is basically dangling over the cat. Okay, that's mount. Unmount. Okay. I could try unmount. Do we mount anywhere our assets, or do we just treat them as standalone things? I bet this is the deal. Okay, so we've created a storage, we've mounted some drivers to it. Do we return the storage? So actually we want to unmount the key. So we have make source storage here, and we would basically say something like, we might need to do this. Okay. Dispose storage unmount key. And what's that complaining about? Okay, we're going to have to specify the key, it seems. And source manager is going to have thank you. Okay, so basically now what we should be able to do is where we call make source manager, we should be able to do something like this. Okay. Yes, absolutely. Totally know that feeling. Hello. Okay, that doesn't help. You need to be let down. Is that good enough? Right, I'm going to take a break and grab a cup of tea. And if all of you think hard and figure out what I'm doing wrong, and yeah, I thought it was innocuous as well, but Twitch is like, no, there are bad words here. So it flagged it for bullying, David. It was like, potential bullying message found. From David? I think not. Anyway. Right, 5, exactly, that's true. 5 minutes and I'll be back with a fresh cup of tea. I will see you all in a moment. I have returned. Okay. So, hey, nice to see you. Okay, so what are we doing? What are we doing? So I feel like it's the fact that we are mounting, we're making the source manager, and then we are making another storage within, no, that is the storage that we're making. This storage instance within mounting Frozen Spirit, nice to see you. Okay, mounting a key. I'm well, thank you. And thank you, Carlos. That's nice to hear. It's sunny. It's not sunny here as such. It's more cloudy, but it is bright, bright enough. No, this isn't right. Okay. Snow. You're in Canada, right? Okay, what are we doing? Unmount. Might as well do everything, right? Not sure if this is the right order, but let's try that here. So I've not actually spent much time on Nuxt content, but it's, I think, one of the packages that we as a team would most want to improve in terms of a number of things. And people are working on it. Sebastian had a sort of content next version, sort of, which he was working on. So I think there's possibilities there. Okay. Let's try the, is there any reason managers? So what is the init? What is that doing? Copying items, okay. Actually, this might be a very much easier solution that I'm working on. Like, this is obviously all true. Like, we do need to do all of this, but we could also just not watch things when we're building. So, because the things aren't being so nothing's happening. So instead what we could do is basically do this. Where is make assets manager being called? It's being called by the module. So should watch. And we could actually change that to like is build or something like that. We can actually just say make assets manager public path Nuxt options dev. Let's try that. Yeah, we also have this. But that we are handling, I think. But it's not just the assets manager, it's also the, what was the other one? It was the source manager. Oh no, we are handling that one. It's the assets manager, I think, that is the problem. So we obviously need to do it here and also here, I guess. And this should be, oh no, this is the plugin. So in that case, we could do import metadev. I think, Joaquin, I think that he has a fix in progress for the issue with slots. Don't watch at all in my building. Okay. What I'm doing is I am fixing something. So I am somebody else's library, which they basically said he thinks it's a Nuxt issue, so I'm fixing it. He doesn't think it's a Nuxt issue. So let's see. Let's do this. Cool. Right, and we're just going to quickly add a comment to explain what's going on, which will also answer your question, Carlos. So the issue here is, as explained in Nuxt CLI, hang where is Puya's comment? Where is it? Okay. Where's Puya's comment? He made a comment that explained this, I feel. Or maybe I did. So watch. Link, okay. Is that watchers are not being closed out. We're not. I've made a couple of changes to close watchers when gracefully when Nuxt exits, as well as avoiding starting some of them in the first place when not in development mode. I hope this helps. Okay. And we will also, I guess, also comment on Twitter. Where is it? There you go. Cool. Okay, we should move on to something else. Let's see, we have a question here. Okay, we'll check this this preload link question on Nuxt fonts, and also maybe create a test for it just to make sure it's still working. So we have this ability to have preload font links. Let's see, we have a test for it. It does. Sneeze. Okay, let's just see. We should be able to dedupe UFO, and this should change. There we go. So now we should get a better joined up version of these links because we fixed this in UFO itself. Hopefully my snapshots are going to update. No. Why? We should have a version of Nuxt. What version of Nuxt do we have? 3.11.1. This is very strange. Oh, we're probably using join URL. Are we using join URL? Yes. Let's try. Join relative URL. And no, I don't think that's it. That's weird. Yeah, that's not it. Okay. Let's just upgrade dependencies in case there's something there. It's very peculiar because that genuinely should have resolved it. So I have to like dive a little bit deeper to find out why that might not have done it. Okay. This is really interesting, right? Really weird. Okay, let me have a look at what's going on in our playground. So we built, so we're gonna just build the playground, and it should produce an output using join relative URL. What's that? Interesting. That's very interesting. No, those are not correct, but now I'm very interested. Okay, so I want to see those things. So, oops, go away. Right, what is Tokyo Nightstorm? Neovim? Nice. It's a lovely theme, actually. I might try that. I'm using Pale Night Operator, and the font is Dank Mono. But I will also check out Cartographer CF. Ooh. Interesting. Okay. But you can see what I'm using. I have some links on row.dev users. Cool. So the weird thing here is that we should be using this. So build assets URL. So we have here this, and we have build assets URL, and it's joining URL. Why? This is not correct. It's almost like it's not on the right version of Nuxt, because this is what Nuxt did previously. That's very strange. Very strange. So basically the current version of Nuxt does this. So we have join relative URL, which we use, and we explicitly import that here into paths.mjs, and we use that. So how it's not ending up in the build? David, I've got to say, I am no expert streamer. I basically don't know what I'm doing, but enough people have asked that I created it. Okay. Right. Why, that's so weird. Okay. I'm just install our dependencies again. If you had a Nuxt website, David, then you would be fine. You would just create a page. So the only thing that I did to create the thing is I have this users.md file. This is it. Like, it's zero effort to maintain. I just literally created a markdown file. And it's not even up to date. I could probably fix some of it. So that's all true. Theme, icons. I'm not using Alacrity at the moment. So I'm currently using Warp. So I'll stick that in. Warp. That is all true. Font. Actually, I don't think I'm using even Meslo LGS. Let's see. File settings. Settings. Appearance. Hack. I do have Meslo LGS. I could revert to it. Okay, that way I don't have to update the... Cool. I have not used those for a while, actually. Yes, you could try undocs, which Puya is working on with Sebastian. That's pretty nice. I do actually use Rectangle Pro now. Actually, I don't use Snap anymore. I use Raycast. And there we go. No effort to maintain it. Docus, I wouldn't be building anything new on Docus right now. There are more interesting things out there. Okay. What? This is so peculiar to me. I know I'm getting distracted here, but okay, let's just look in our DevTools, which will show us what's going on. So we'll try inspect. I bet you something. Let's look at our parent directory. Do we have any node modules? No. 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 Why would I be pulling in an old version of Kit? Or for that matter, of Nuxt? Look, this is what we're pulling in. We're using it specifically. Why is this not working? So let's just try console log join URL to string. There it is. This is the full thing. Now let's build it. That's the thing. That is correct now. And I bet now if I pull in, what is it? Providers local, it'll render properly. No, it's still not. So Frozen Spirit, it sounds like your issue is not to do with the plugin, but to do with the types. It's TypeScript which is complaining about it. And so what you probably need to do is just add a little stub like here, which says something like declare module star.md like const default any. That will probably get rid of the errors. So try that. I will paste it for you. And that needs to be, sorry, it's dropped the lines, but that needs to be in a file by itself with no imports or exports. I am very happy with my MacBook Air. I really do love it, but I don't run lots of Docker containers. But I have no issues when I do run them. And I've not even had any problems running, for example, a Whisper AI model on the MacBook. It works quite well. This is strange. I guess it's just not working, maybe. So because let me just check, not Nitro, let's see Nuxt. So we are passing, when we have our renderer, we are passing in build assets URL to our renderer, and build assets URL is coming from hash paths, which is Nitro paths. Oh, this is why we didn't update it, for goodness sake. So this actually needs to be this. Okay, so this is my own bug. Okay, right then. Okay, well, this is easy enough to fix. So fix relative assets. Where do we use that? We use that in the manifest and these places. Okay. Now, the interesting thing, of course, is that I think there's some space to deduplicate, because this must be that we reference it in more than one place. So I think we should, in production, also alias this here. I think we should do something like this. And let's try that. See you later. Enjoy. Is that going to work? Presumably not. Where did I stick my playground? Let's just check. Oh. That's weird. What else have I changed? Okay, it's not that. Something else. Some other issue. Probably to do with the fact that I don't know. Maybe there's another. No, that's fine. Okay, it's fine. Right. So where were we? We had this, and then in Vite server, I just added that. So let's try this again. Okay, seems fine. Great. Let's just see. That's why I was getting it. There's another server running somewhere. Come on, open ports. Yeah, okay. Hey, Full Stack Live. Welcome. Thank you for coming. What a pleasure. So, what have you been talking about, everyone from Full Stack Live? It's pretty good. It's a bit grey, but solved a bug. Submitted a PR. Now, I guess we're just trying to. I'm looking to improve performance here by deduplicating some code. Impromptu co-working. Do you know that's the best kind? Honestly, basically streaming is co-working. Like it's the fun of having someone else there. Yeah, it is. Okay, I'm wanting to. Yeah, it is totally like the idea that there's it's not just you. Oh, did I? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so what do I want to check? I want to see what the output is. Okay, so I have got the dist file, and I would expect in the server here that let's get rid of some of that. I would expect in here to have build assets URL, paths, build paths, join relative URL. Yeah, this isn't right. Okay, so it's not properly marking this as external. Let's try. There might be one more place. Yeah, here. Storage is actually not bad at all. The frameworks are not so large as you might think, given like you're installing things in your note. Like I use PNPM, it deduplicates across my system. So all of your like it's not extra copies for every directory you have. It's pretty deduplicated, which is really necessary when doing lots of reproductions for people, because you're installing lots and lots and lots of copies of things. Aha, this might be better. So we have build, no. No, I don't think NPM does. PNPM is really good for that. It's great on disk space. Oh, this is the playground. Nope. I think I'm going to do it the other way. I'm going to just say paths here. And okay, everywhere we say build paths, we're going to replace that with paths. So that's going to be entry, there, and here, and here. And then we can basically keep these, yes. And then in our client builds, we will say, we'll add an alias, which will be to say that paths is the same as build paths. Is that going to work? Actually, reps, check it out. PNPM is a lot faster than, like in my experience, it's faster than NPM. And partly because it's not downloading them fresh. So it just creates a hard link to where it is on your dependency. It is really, really good. Okay, this is failing. That's great. It's actually, that's what we expect. Okay, so we have paths. Oh, we have paths in MJS. Let's change that. Should just be paths, I think. Try one more time. Build paths. Oh, I see. We have to specify probably that this is try that. Cool. It doesn't seem to make any difference in terms of size. It's probably small enough, but just checking to make sure that it is doing what it's doing. Aha. Yes. That is good to see. So yeah, that's right. Is it still going to work? I hope so. Yeah, okay, that's good for me. Okay, so basically we are saying, yeah. So we can actually get rid of the changes to this file. Okay, so we basically are using an external file when we're building. I just need to confirm this still works in dev mode. There we go. Perf. Share Nitro. Build assets. Path utilities. Will be just for the build. And so are you talking about hard links? Because the way it works, I think, is that we just have a pointer to the same location in like on the disk. So, and I don't see why that would be taking up more memory, because it's simply when the last reference to that file. Yeah. So PNPM uses hard links. That's how it does it. So it's not. Yeah, it's a really good solution, I think, for it. Oops, don't open Discord. Right. Aha, yes, it doesn't work in development. By Vite node. Oh, because it's the server. Okay, so basically what we want to say is this is only true in if it when it's built, when we're building. So what we want to do is provide exactly the same alias here to the server when we are hard links are like on a Unix based. Yeah, excellent. Go for it. Full stack live. That is the answer. There is soft links as well, which is basically like it's like a shortcut. So it's less of a... So hard links appear to be different files, but they point to the same location. Soft links appear to be all pointing to one file. It's like it's more obvious what's going on. Let's see. This should work in dev. What I don't know is whether it will also still work somehow in build. If it... Okay, I can just remove that entry entirely. So that's a really good answer. And yes, it does show, but in a very good way. Like, let's see. Symbolic links don't get deleted when the file goes away. They just point to nothing. So it's you can end up with references to files that don't exist. So in a way, a hard link is safer, but it also, like, they'll behave differently. For example, when pushing to GitHub, sometimes you want something that is not a separate file that is just pointing. where are we? We've got a font. While we're waiting for that to run in the background, let's just check in on our fonts work. Excellent, thank you, Max. And this is obviously what we're looking at the moment. This is just about I think we're good to go though, honestly. Yeah, fire away. Exactly, that's a very good point, Frozen Spirit. So, oh, rats. Okay. Is that it? This is the problem with, sorry, I'll get back to your question in a second. This is the problem with white space, because in fact, let's try this again. So Nuxt is open source. It's true. Being a maintainer is voluntary. I was doing it before I was sponsored to do it. And so the answer is that it's generous people and companies who sponsor me that makes it possible. And I do sort of make money in other ways. But yeah, have a look at my thing. And if you do have any more questions, come back to me on that. This is very ugly. Wait a second. No, it's that. Chore check for what is the frog? The frog has appeared. Okay. Oh, rats. Yeah, no, we're fine. Okay. That PR should be good to go. I mean, I say that, and there's always a missing import or something like that. Let's try it. Okay. Excellent. Let's see, any other pull requests I can go ahead and merge. Okay, yeah, we've got a new version of Nuxt. I wonder what that fixed. Ah, nice. And a range of things, including the latest Vite version, which fixed a bug that was affecting us. That is very kind of the Vite team for doing that. Oh, that base URL, that was related to DevTools. So I'm pretty sure Anthony was having a look there. It's quite wide. I will check it out though. Let's see, anything else we have we can merge? I'm going to check out, is that ready for review? No, it's still draft. I'm really looking forward to that one. This, I should also review at some point. Because it's been put, like some fresh implementations have been pushed. Okay. Let's download this because unfortunately Nuxt fonts doesn't currently work on Tailwind on StackBlitz because it can't fetch. It hits cause errors, so we get this. So thankfully we've downloaded that. So do you have a PR? I would totally have a look, Bobby, if there's something you want me to have a look at. I'm sort of on fonts, but I'll have a look at that in a second. Okay, so if I run build, preview, just first want to confirm that this is in fact not working. Okay, it is in Philippa. All this is coming across. But there is no preload link, that's true. And we have fonts experimental add preload links. Okay, so yeah, excellent. That is a very clear failure. But we are testing it. I wonder if it's to do with when it runs. I bet that's what it is. Okay, so basically we are Yeah, the issue is that we're doing it for individual files, but not globally. So we could do it globally as well. So basically what we do at this point is so we're setting font map. I think I'm pretty sure if I were to go through into assets and do this font family Felipe, I think if I did something like style that would probably work, because I think it's collecting it at the wrong point. So we have this, let me check. Yeah, we don't add it here. Or do we? Ah, that's the issue, I think. Okay, so let me just have a quick check. Does this work at this point? It actually doesn't. Quickly check Bobby's thing. Oh, Bobby, you're amazing. What a great reproduction. Yeah, I'll look at that in a bit more of it later on. Okay, so where are we? We are still in fonts. And I'm just going to remove tailwind. And that should be enough, right? Yeah, no, I understand. I've been following that. Joaquin, who's here as well, or was here, was letting me know some of the stuff that you've been going through. Okay, so are we preloading anything, prefetching anything? Still not. This is very strange. This is not what I was expecting. Okay, let's see why. Because this is even better. It's not. This is as minimal as possible. No tailwind, nothing. Just the font being used. So this is a great reproduction now. So why isn't it adding the preload links? He is everywhere, it's true. Okay, so what are we looking for? Add preload links. And let's just confirm it's enabled. Okay. The other thing I can actually just quickly check is what our dist client manifest is. Interesting. Oops, what have I done? There we go. Okay, so we are running this and it is enabled. And we should have a we should have a font map by this point. And we should also have CSS. Okay, so we do have CSS. Okay. Oh, interesting. We're testing for okay, that's not right. Or is it? That might be fine actually, because it's okay. Okay. So the issue is that we're checking for the full path, and we're here just checking for the okay. So what we would do is interesting that it's relative. Oh, I'm missing the point. So this isn't the solution. It is this isn't the solution. The solution is the issue is that there is no app.view here. Why is there no app.view? There's no app.view because it's being consumed in the entry point. So we need somehow to track the chunks. Okay. I am going to very quickly take a break, and I will be back in a second. So 2 minutes, I'll be back. See you soon. Okay, I'm back. My SaaS startup was called Parent Scheme, and it provided resources for working parents. Okay, so the issue here is that I think we can do async render chunk. Okay, render chunk. Something like const file chunk. Module IDs maybe. If options font map has file, then options font map set chunk facade module ID. Maybe just chunk file name, yeah. Okay, let's try that. It was a TEDx talk, just to be clear. It wasn't as impressive as that. So, Reps, here's a question for you. Would you want to be Prime Minister? Yeah, it's not going to be that. Okay, we don't want module IDs. We want... It's going to log a lot. Yeah, okay. So what we want is... the module IDs. That's what I'm iterating over, right? Or the modules, maybe. Yeah, we probably want the modules that will match, but module IDs should be fine. So this is our entry? No, that's not our, where's our entry? Our entry file is still not. Where's our entry file? Here. No, come on. Entry. I want to see the entry. Yeah, this is the entry. Okay, so here's our entry file. And we should iterate over the module IDs. Yeah. And if that's weird. Why? Oh, okay, it is actually doing it. But chunk file name is not what we want. What we want is to get the chunk. We want somehow to get access to the thing that it's going to be rendered as, which is the facade module ID, I think. Okay. Let's try that. Daniel, nice to see you. Nope, still not working. Okay, more debugging required. Okay, so basically, what do we have a file, we have a facade module ID, and we need to know, does it have it? So what I'm expecting to see is for app.view, it should have it. Yes, it does. Okay, that looks good. So that should therefore have given us a manifest with the font files in them. By the way, are people with me? Do you know what I'm doing? I'm not sure I've necessarily communicated this. It's entirely possible that I haven't communicated what I'm doing. So basically, we have a feature in Nuxt fonts that it will add preload links for the fonts that you're using in your app, and it does this actually via the build manifest rather than through like anything at runtime. So we're basically trying to match the fonts to preload with the files that that they need to go into. So this is what we're trying to do. So okay, so we have done all of this render chunk stuff, and we're adding stuff to the font map. Oh, we should do this. And ta-da, it's there. Okay, so that is the solution. And basically, we can paste that there. What's going on? Oh, I've over-pasted. We need this. Paste it there. Okay. And cool. So this will basically handle fix, render, CSS, preloads when chunks are bundled up. Pass on CSS preload data, chunks are bundled. I look like an actor from Peaky Blinders. Which actor from Peaky Blinders? I think that answer to that question matters a very great deal. Or you're just saying in general, like I could live in Birmingham, is what you're saying. Which, these are all things that I would like to know. Okay, let's go back and test this with the original implementation, which was Tailwind CSS, not in here. Sam Claflin. I don't immediately. Do I want to know? Huh. I will definitely take that. That is a very, very complimentary thing. Thank you. Goodness, I want to be taking that home. Okay, let's see if this works. Yeah, I'm definitely writing that compliment. Yeah. Confirm. Nope. This is another edge case. So this scenario is slightly different. So in here, is there a way to monorepo multiple Nuxt projects? Yeah. Like, tell me more in terms of that particular question. Okay, we have our, where's arrows? Oh, interesting. Oh, in this case, we have no CSS. It's all inlined. And, which is actually fine. Is it fine? Oh no, there's no Philippa stuff. Why is that? I'm a bit confused at the moment. So we have Tailwind CSS, we have our... Oh, I deleted the asset that had it, okay. I think we have to reinitialize this project. Or just re-unzip it. Okay, so it's created the thing again. Assets, Tailwind. Right, let's try that one more time. I think it should definitely be possible, yes. So probably not layers if they're not extending from each other, but you could actually have the core modules all in a single layer, or you could simply have the layers as separate packages in a monorepo that you depend on as layers in your projects. So I think that would work very well. Okay, so now we are actually getting a lot more content. And we have got our fonts. And we don't have our preload because it's not processed in the same way. It doesn't produce a facade in exactly the same sense. So let's have a quick look. I think it's being written to. Let's look for our CSS files. Yeah, we've not got any of them. very tricky. Which file? This file? This is formatted. It's just busy. The output file. This one. Oh, this. Yeah, this is just the HTML. I just know what I'm looking for. So like this is just CSS, and it is nicely highlighted, which does help. And these font face rules are the ones we've injected the Nuxt fonts plugin, and then these font face rules are just Tailwind producing its classes, and then this is the rest of the links of the preload links. So I can ignore all of this. I just make sure this is here, and then the question is, do we need a preload link? And the fact is that I don't think we do, because like the font is literally here. So I'm pretty sure the browser is going to detect that and start loading it the moment it comes across it in the HTML. But I mean, we still can have an option to put a preload link in, but I'm just not sure how much it will do. Okay, so the issue here is, I think, it's actually that we're optimizing things in Nuxt. Let me just confirm that. So if I were to set inline styles to false and rerun the build. Then we have our CSS and we have our preload. So I think the preload is only not there because it is being inlined, and we know it's being inlined. Well, I think it's still worth pushing the fix, but we will see. It will pre-render all pages that are linked from other pages. So it will start crawling on your home page, and then it will go along. And so if it at any point there are pages that aren't linked, they will not be pre-rendered. It's just Nuxt has no way of knowing with dynamic paths what all the dynamic paths could be. So you have to tell it. You can either pass it you can give it the URLs. Yeah, exactly. Elk deliberately we want Elk. We don't want Elk to be server rendered. As much as possible, we want them to be pre-rendered. So this is why the header thing that you were asking about might not work or be a good idea, because it would increase the load on the server. And Elk has a lot of traffic. Okay. So we have fonts. Inherit. Okay. We still do need to preload this thing, I think. So how do we do it? So I understand. I think it's possible to resolve it in a totally different way, which I think you were in the discussion. I think the solution is to do something on prehydrate. So in the same way as color mode module, I think I can pre-render for multiple locales. I have a solution. I think it will work. Is there a way I can that would be helpful? Like I can explain it, or you say it's an unsolved issue. That just sounds like a challenge. I think I could make it happen. Okay, let's do it. So basically, let's open a demo sandbox. Can you give me like a minimum? Is there a way I can get a Nuxt i18n sandbox open? We'll just do it here. No. There we go. It's fine. I can also do it this way. Okay, bug report. It's just, yeah, it's so much more helpful to have a something, particularly with i18n, because it takes configuration. It's not as simple as just like beautiful. V8 and higher? Oh, you've already got it. Beautiful. Okay, so here we go. So, oh, interesting. That's a little strange. Okay. And we will, oh, that's what happened. That created the file somehow. Okay, so we're just going to both. So it will be in the next patch release, but also there's a nightly release, which is actually every commit creates a new nightly release. And so reps, you'll see the changes straight away if you're on the nightly channel. Otherwise, it'll be the next patch. So, okay, fork. Okay, forked. Excellent. So what we're going to do here is pre-render in such a way that it swaps them in. So what's the stock command again? Okay. Cool. So let's have a page, and we have this. So basically, in order for this to work, we have to collect every usage, every key on the page. Interesting. Oh, that's weird. Let's disable DevTools. does seem that way. But I think this actually might be an issue with Nuxt, which maybe is fixed. Let's see. Okay, so there we go. We're here. And why is there no location for path? Oh, I see. So it needs to redirect. So I think you could do something like root rules redirect. Yeah, that's better. Okay, it's because StackBlitz doesn't yet know about the types. In your local environment, things should work, I would think. Okay, so what do we've got? Right, so I'm going to do things in a crazy way, maybe. We are going to do this. We're going to say, because I just want to do a proof of concept. So we're going to say plugins pre-render i18n.server.ts, and we'll have a Nuxt plugin. And we're going to do some stuff. So const i18n, use i18n, right? And console log object keys i18n, and what? That's right. That's correct. What's correct? Okay, this isn't going to work. It might be easier for me to do this in a playground in the module. Basically, I want to replace the $t key. Okay, so basically, we're just going to have to assume that I know. No, I won't enjoy it. Okay, so basically, to do in module, replace the track the keys rendered in a page. Okay, this is possible to do totally. You just track it by request, and you use $t to just track like what's everything that was called. Okay, and you'll get the keys. I can't do it right here in the playground, so I'm just going to hard code. I know the keys. The keys are hello, but it's possible to do that in the module. So step 1, in module, track keys rendered the page. We're going to hard code them here. So we say const keys is hello. So what we're going to want to do is add some text to like a script to the page. And so we're going to add a script, and it's going to have some content. And the content is going to be, it's going to say const, const map is basically hello. And hello is going to have like a key in each language. So it's going to be, we're going to create that here. So const map is going to be, I guess, can I access them via 18? I can't. I have to directly import them. But like these are implementation details. Okay. Import n from locales and JSON and jar and NL. And map is going to be object from entries keys map key and we're basically going to have a key as the first item, and then object from entries. We're hard coding it, so we basically can just do n is n key, I guess, and then we do the same for draw nl. Okay, and so then we're just going to stringify this map. And do that. And then we are going to do a pre-render step. So, oh, it needs a comma. Just checking it's still rendering. I think I've restart. Okay, and what we're going to do is the T package is not going to render a dollar. It's not going to render the text. It's going to render a hash. So the hash, again, this is a soluble problem, but we're just going to say it's going to render this. And so what we're going to do in here is we're going to look for the hash and replace it. Oh wait, maybe it could do something else. Maybe you could opt into this. So instead of rendering a hash, what we're going to do is we're going to have a special component, which is something like hydrated i18n. And hydrated i18n is basically going to render a span, so it can be used anywhere, and it is going to render like the thing key, and it's going to have this prop. Like, I'm sure there are lots of things you would change about this, Bobby. Like, it's proof of concept. So except that on the server, we are going to have some attributes. So we're going to basically say data i18n key is key. And what we're going to do in that case is look for this. I'm going to say for const L of document query selector all data i18n key oh no, we're going to do for each, right? For each L we'll just console log the L, check that it's still working. Okay, so we've got, oh, we're not using it. We have to use it. So we're going to go to our index, and instead of using this, we're going to use, what did I call it? Hydrated i18n, hello. And it should say $T. Is this not correct? Is it T? Oh, T like this. No? arguments. Oh, I can't have key as a prop, of course. So we'll say slug, because key is a special thing. So slug. There we go. Okay, so it now says hello. And what we want is, in this case, let's say, yeah, sorry, we're slightly out of sync. Okay, and so what we want to do is make sure that it is being logged. Oh, or is it still key? Cool. Now, hopefully, what we should have is data i18 and key. Great. And I'm just going to run this server plugin that I'm working on here. And we need to basically do this. Great. So we're going to, so this tag position should be body end. Stack bliss is not giving me any types. Tag position. Hello. Body end. I'm going to quickly check in my Nuxt repo. Body close. That's interesting. Yes, she probably is. You want to go out? Come then. You want to be petted? Yeah, that was a cat. That was definitely a cat. Okay. Why is this not running? Let's see. Okay, that's weird. She definitely knows what she wants. She is not shy about that. Okay, so that is working fine. So what we want to do, I think, at this point, is basically to swap them out. So what we would say is something like const key is L get attribute I'm just going to do it in here. That's going to be easier. Console log L dot attribute data i18 key. And actually, I think there's a data set way of getting this. Is it? For goodness sake. This is the benefit of auto completion, right? Okay, I want L dot get data, no, get attribute. Why is that not working? Yeah, it's probably. Well, that's weird. Okay. Huh. Does it not have the key anymore? Okay. I'm just going to use this as global variable, I think. Global variable. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there we go. It's a weirdness of the browser. Okay, so we basically have our key here. So we would be able to do this. And we'll basically just say l.inner text equals map l dataset ITN key, or l inner. Well, we could just anyway. We can handle this a little bit. Oh no, sorry, not like that. But basically, like we could check if, and now we should be able to know this for sure, because we are crafting it and we are tracking everything. So we should be able to know this, but we can just do it like that. Okay. So console log set value to. Okay. Let's just check that. I don't know what this is, but it's not tracking changes to this file. Oh, sorry. Let's do it with, we have to do the map. We're going to do it .en. No, this is just an issue with the dot. We weren't accessing the file, like the language. Okay, so we're setting it to English in this case, but I guess we should do the browser language. Is that the concept? Oh, wait a second. Why would the server be rendering object? Is that what you mean about them not being compiled? Because it's working fine. So basically what's happening on the client is that it's, I think, no, it's not. It's not working. Okay, and it should be n. What is the issue? Yeah, okay. It's probably not, it's probably my issue. So yeah, what is the compiled translation? I think I'm just expecting this JSON to be a little bit different from the way that it is. Yeah, okay, it's very compiled. What on earth? Okay, but this is, again, these are implementation details. Like, this is the concept of what I'm talking about. Like, we can like, yeah, I can save it. But you see the concept of what I'm doing here. that basically what we do is we track the keys, we render a map in the HTML, and before hydration, we swap everything out. And we basically have to make sure that this element, so it's exactly what I do with Nuxt time, if you've seen it. The concept is that it runs at this sort of pre-hydrate stage, and it or example, and basically swaps everything out before you even see them on the page. You shouldn't even see a flash this before the HTML is even rendered, but technically it's still there. So the concept here is, I'll copy this out. The concept is that we are setting it to hello. This is the thing that's going on. And we should be able to do that, I think, with a pre-rendered site. It's going to add all of the keys for all of the pages, so it's going to add all the locales for all the keys that are rendered into the HTML, but only for the hydrated I18N components. So and actually we can actually do it like this. We could do something like and now we're tracking our keys because we're doing it all through this one thing. And this actually allows people to pick what are the ones that are going to be optimized. So I don't think it's a big deal. It actually doesn't matter. So in this case, you can set a default language, and you just have to have a way on the client of knowing what language to be displaying. You have to be able to know here what language the client is going to be displaying. But I'm sure you can implement some logic to do that. Oh. Okay. So basically, we should at this point have our tracked keys. So just to confirm that it's working properly. I don't know why the watcher isn't working in StackBlitz, but on first load, it definitely will be the user's language that they see. The thing that's pre-rendered might not be the user language, but the thing that they will see is their language. So in the same sense as, in the same way that Nuxt time works, which is that it renders your localized time. Even on the server, it doesn't render your localized time, but before you see it, it becomes your time. So it's just always, as far as you're concerned, your time. And that works even in pre-rendered sites. Okay, so this is working. So we have a map which is tracking the keys from the hydrated page, from that element, and rendering a map, which obviously has to be updated. And then this obviously has to be updated, but that is basically it, I think. So basically the to-dos are get user locale. So I don't know how we're going to do that. Is that like navigator dot locale dot language? So basically, like whatever, we're getting it from that. So like, I'm sure this isn't how you're actually doing it in the module, but like you'll have a way of getting the locale that you want to display. And then basically we would say, and you'd have to like evaluate, is it a valid locale? I'm just hard coding it, but like I think the concept, I think this is not a complicated thing. It won't add too much to your bundle, and everywhere you use these hydrated components, which would just be above the fold probably, it will just, well, I mean, I guess it would probably be everywhere. And there might be a better way of doing it also. You don't necessarily have to do it with these components. You could use the hashes that I originally talked about. That would be another way of handling it. But I guess it's better to use elements because you can iterate over them, like with the document query selector all. And so this should just be... actually, let's just hard code them here just to make it easier. Okay, so hello is going to be hello, and we've got and we have, for goodness sake. Okay, so that's our thing. And so we're just going to map it on like this. And I think we can actually just say, just to give the example, and so is there a way, just to prove that would work, is there a way to set the locale in a client-only plugin, just so I can prove the thing is working, like a set locale thing? Okay, and I could do NL, for example. So I can do that. And so what I would be able to do here, set locale NL. So if I then, now I don't know what that's going to do under the hood because it might do some extra stuff, but I could basically just say locale is going to be NL. Oh, sorry. That was my bad. Okay, so obviously the set locale didn't work, but if you refresh the page, you see it's hello on like initial navigation. Like this is properly setting it. And then on hydration, it's not working because the i18n is not updated, but like when you implement this, you will also have a way of updating the i18n locale. Like you can just do that in the module. So hey Lena, good to see you. I don't think it's going to, I think you're still going to get a hydration mismatch because I don't think it's actually setting the locale. I think it would trigger a navigation or something. So I don't think this is the way to do it. I think it's not that you set locale. The i18n module needs to accept the locale from the page or even from the plugin. It could set an object like a window thing that's going to be reflected by the module. But anyway, I will send that to you. I think this is very, very doable, honestly. And I think it would be a very nice feature. I need to push my, oh, he is incredible. I need to push my fonts changes. We could, but I am moving on the faster side in terms of it may not be that useful. But yes, I'm looking at this one. I'm also just about to, oh rats, the time has flown. I'm gonna have to go. I'm actually going to Nuxt office hours. So if you fancy joining, we're going to be for half an hour, 40 minutes, just chatting about anything in the Nuxt Discord, which is, I think it's chat.nuxt.dev. And yeah, that'll give you access to the server if you don't already know. Thank you everybody for joining. It's been a lot of fun, and maybe hang out with you there for a little bit. Bye. Matrix, exactly. Peace.